Previously on Twin Portals.
The silver waves of justice reached the pinnacle of the Radiant Citadel in a desperate bid to rescue the speakers of the ancestors. Atop the Citadel, they did battle with a two-headed Dracolich and its ally, the scheming Amalia Castellanter. With an assist from the Raven Queen, SWOJ dismantled one of the two soul pylons draining the city's very essence. Sensing the danger of the keening gloam, Zay activated the Citadel's ward, encasing the city in an opalescent shell. With allies racing to the skies, SWOJ braces for the next chapter of their journey, guiding the crumbling city through the storm and discovering what awaits beyond.
Gloam isn't even a storm. Isn't the gloam like twilight?
It is, yeah.
So,
But so this is a
stormy.
yeah.
I don't know why I thought of
The
it as
blue
stormy.
hour.
It's just
is
a
the
noisy
gloaming.
twilight.
Well, he
Yeah.
said it was hurricane force winds.
Yes. it
Yeah,
is.
he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the swirling tempest is abated as the ward forms around you all, and you all collapse from where you were being hurtled backward by the tempest winds. Ilka, I believe you're still stomping around.
I'm still a tyrannosaur.
You're stompy stomp.
What did I last? An hour? 10 minutes?
Yeah. So you have a moment of quiet. All the soldiers with wings that were coming after you have been blown away. There is just a veritable fleet, a flotillion of ravens perched everywhere. Some of them are circling as well around the top, like where that lighthouse used to be, which is where you've been set down, Lark, by, I believe we said,
Zellifarn.
is
Yep.
holding you, and Cholet is over by Zay. Scoot, you're kind of standing over where the Dracolich used to be.
Yeah, I'm wondering what happened a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put two and two together.
Mm-hmm. It seems like the bones of the thing, as the ravens start to thin slightly and spread out around the area, there is no sign of the bones of the Dracolich. All the crystals that were being attached to it from the dragon incarnate of the Radiant Citadel are there. And as you're watching it, they kind of rise up into the air and swirl around magically and coalesce into a semi-draconic shape. And then sort of whoosh off again like a spectral spiritual dragon and fly down towards the preserve of the ancestors.
That's a mount I want in World of Warcraft.
You didn't roll the 1% this time.
No.
You got to run the raid like 100 more times.
Yes.
So these ravens, they've all got kind of like slightly glowing purplish eyes. They're just watching you all like statues almost. They're everywhere.
What
Very
happened?
eerie.
What happened to my chew toy?
Was that Amalia?
Yeah.
She would still be. She was encased in water too, I believe,
That was
Yeah.
it.
by the water elemental in Zay. So I think she's in the water case. That's where we left
Okay.
her. And then you restrained her somehow.
Probably have to concentrate. Let me confirm. But yeah, I'm no longer concentrating on it.
I think we determined that she was restrained.
Yeah.
With
By
something.
the elementals.
By the elemental, yeah, like the water elemental was helping. So.
Unless
And
I can
teeth.
concentrate
And teeth.
and drive the... What is it?
Water thing?
Phalange? No, what's it called?
Pseudopod?
Phalanger? So what is it called when I drive the Concorde Jewel?
The clavigers.
Clavigers!
Yes.
Yeah, I was claviging the whole Citadel, though, right?
You were just claviging the shit out of it.
Yeah, I was.
I think that's the way that it works. So when you clavage it, you has a phalange that comes out.
I was like, this is a
You were manipulating the claviging phalange
Yes.
to make the word happen.
You're not doing yourself any favors.
I feel great.
Keep going.
You all hear a voice from your minds, from your brains, as the ravens look at you. And when you look at the ravens, you notice that there's this kind of effect happening where, like, when you look at like a hidden eye image or like
A 3D
one of
image.
those like
Mhm.
weird ChatGPT Jesus images,
No idea there.
like they make a face kind of when you look at them from a certain angle.
Mm-hmm.
And if you move it all, it goes away, but you can see it from time to time.
That's cool.
Like interesting art.
It is interesting art.
Yeah.
And a voice in your heads says, the abomination's body is gone, cast into a place from which it will never return. Yet its souls remain tethered to this existence, ere long to reform. Your favor is granted, Scoot, but your fight is not over.
Thank you,
Whoosh,
Your
whoosh,
Majesty.
magical
What
sounds.
should we do with the souls? Are they flying away?
Huh? What's the ravens?
Yeah.
No, they're staying put.
Oh, sorry. I thought the whoosh whoosh was them flying away.
Yeah.
No, it's just magical sounds.
Oh. What should we do with the souls?
Oh, they're in the ether. They've
They floated off, right?
No, the ones in your.
Oh, in the bag?
Yeah.
Can I hear this as a T-Rex?
Oh, that's a good question.
I have an intellect of -4.
You can hear it. I don't know if you understand anything of what's
Intellect of
going on.
-4.
How would a T-Rex react to this? An Ilka T-Rex.
It's that -4 int that's making it hard to give that answer. I think visually the T-Rex would be fascinated by the little birdies, especially their purple eyes. It might be like waggling that giant boxy head back and forth to figure out what's happening. But I honestly don't know if a T-Rex has binocular vision with the eyes off to the side like
I think
that.
it has
Yeah,
bird
yeah.
vision.
If you're taking swipes at the ravens, they just kind of scatter like a flock of pigeons would,
Yeah.
and then like resettle away from you
I don't
casually.
think attacking. I'm not violent with the
No.
ravens. I'm fascinated as much as a giant box-headed lizard can be.
I was
They
gonna
give you a polite amount of space.
I was gonna ask, your brains are similar. Do you have an understanding of the
Right.
ravens? Like this is straight up out of Godzilla, so
Yeah.
I know it.
Do you think the Raven Queen was the T-Rex Queen once upon a time?
Oh.
I should have asked for more.
Canon.
Now I need a morph of a T-Rex with massive raven wings.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah,
You were
Matthias
saying
is,
thank you.
Matthias is writing notes. Yeah.
As I look around, if I determine there's no further threat, I'm gonna drop the morph back into myself.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, Amalia's not a threat anymore.
So did you guys hear that voice in your head?
Yeah.
I think the queen is saying that the monstrosity's body is gone, but we still have to deal with the soul somehow. Is that how you understood what that? Did you hear the same message?
Yeah, I'm still kind of stretching my jaw and
You hear the voice say,
reacclimating.
"Due to the profane ritual that created the creature, its souls will return in time, but not soon.
Oh, like eras away?
Ere long,"
before long.
which is a fancy way of saying soon.
Oh,
Ish.
4 turns, 24 seconds.
Not in season 2.
But it's not as
Okay,
vanquished
great.
as we'd...
Look, he answered the question.
yeah. That's what I needed to know. We don't need to deal with this right now.
Yeah.
Great.
And then the voice says, Manchun's ambition knows no end. His hand reaches for dominion even over my domain. My influence wanes here. Be vigilant and do not falter.
All right.
We'll do our best.
Yeah.
Any hints? Any advice?
She says, the Raven Mother does not bestow gifts without purpose. I have a lot of stuff written down here.
What if our purpose is to defeat Manchun?
She says, swear eternal fealty to my will, to safeguard the passage of souls and destroy those who would impede or consume them. And I shall grant you strength, wings to carry you down hidden roads, beaks to unravel secret knowledge, talons to blot out the eyes of the profane.
Dang.
Is she offering to turn us into ravens?
Into ravens.
I don't know, it kind of sounds that way.
I don't want to be. I can just be a raven whenever I want.
Yeah, same.
But I mean, if we need, her help to defeat to defeat Manchun and the baddies.
You're really feeling the pressure, especially Scoot. It seems like to you, this voice is cacophonous.
Yeah.
There's a stronger link. For whatever that's worth to you.
No, I've been thinking about it a bit. Scoot was really not super prepared for what was happening here. He just knew he had this thing from this time, and it seemed like the right time to call on the Raven Queen.
Mm-hmm.
But swearing fealty is another step, and I'm kind of clasping at that pendant I got on my neck there. So I'm like, oh man, this is a tough one. Anybody?
What if we say, like, we agree with the things that we have shared goals, but fealty is maybe a step too far?
As it has been, as it could be, the voice says.
Oh, I don't understand that at all.
Basically, like, that's how things have been, dude.
Oh, got it. Thanks, Queen. Thanks for rephrasing.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
I need, like, my fantasy voice translator.
If it ever gets, if you're looking at me and I'm not getting it, just get a puppet.
I've realized that it helps so much in D&D to just like speak straight.
Yeah.
In like every
Mhm.
situation.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason to get cryptic. What do you guys think? Cryptic, like a 3, a 7?
I feel like the Venn diagram of neurodivergent folks who take things very literally and D&D players is in fact a circle. There's definitely some metaphor and nuance that my brain just breezes right past and like, oh, that meant something months later.
There's a lot to track. I mean, I hear you. Okay.
Just constantly searching for traps all the time, physically, and then in the words too. I'm like, oh, how can I parse this 14
Yep.
ways?
Do you
Yes.
sense danger?
Well, I don't know. I have a danger sense, so I guess you have to tell me.
Yeah, you do.
Ah,
See, you
What? Are you
get
okay, Scoop?
traps.
we gotta. I want to get closer to people.
The ravens start to flicker slightly, just like a little bit, like they're buffering.
I think we've taken too much time.
You hear the voice say, "Time wanes. This storm keeps back the gods, well, except for Kelemvor. It only allows passage for lost souls and the judge of the damned." And the voice starts to trail off, getting more and more faint
Can
as you rush through the keening gloam.
Can I turn this ship around and head us back
You are not steering the ship.
anymore? Oh, was I ever
No, it moved before you were
misremembering
moving
that?
it.
Oh,
You called the Concord
I called the
Jewels
ward.
and the ward. Yeah.
Okay.
So the ravens are fading.
Do we need to get off this ship?
To where? Just eject ourselves into the ethereal plane, just float around, or it's not even that, into the miasma,
At this point, yeah.
into the keening gloam.
Can we go back through it? Like if we had a vessel?
It's like hurricane force winds outside the shell.
And the ravens whoosh, 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 start to trail away into wisps of dust.
Is Zelipharn still with us? Can we ride him
Where to?
back?
We can't.
We can't go back?
I
We're
don't
not
think.
supposed to go forward?
Well, as you're like collecting yourselves, I guess, on this plateau, with the ravens fading away, you see from in the distance, from the Concord Jewels that made it into the ward before you activated it. It's kind of tough because there's still a storm brewing inside the ward. It's just that like in here it's like windy and there's like entropic magical energy kind of moving things around. Like rocks are starting to kind of like levitate around you a little bit, and the wind is howling. They're like resisting the wind. But like outside the ward, you can see it's just this like roiling, oily mess of energy, basically. So you're much better off in here than out there.
Yeah.
But approaching you is the Hammerhead ship. About 15 riders on griffins.
Coming through the keening gloam, or they're already within the
They were
ward?
within the ward, like you activated it just after they got in.
Nice.
And they're kind of coming up from down below because one of the Concord Jewels has parked, and they picked up some people from inside the Concord Jewel, and they're coming up towards you guys now. This little flying fleet.
We should definitely check in with them. Maybe we could also check in with the dragon incarnate that fled back to the field of the ancestors.
The Preserve.
Preserve.
Sure. And they arrive, and people start hopping off the ship. You notice that riding on one of the griffins is a young soldier wearing half-plate armor, who just kind of waves at you and signs at you. It's your old friend Nat from the short rest.
Yay, Nat.
She seems like she's joined the Griffin Riders of Waterdeep.
Nice.
These Griffin Riders are all wearing Waterdeep livery. And riding side saddle with her is a dude with a big blue wizard hat, who you recognize as the Great Wizard Jenks. And he waves at you in a booming voice and says, "We're here to help!"
Did he
Nat, Jenks. I wave.
They say, "Where's Squidly?"
He was attacked down by the south light pole.
The South Light Pole.
Yeah, I don't know. It is.
That's exactly what I was going to say too. It's exactly how I was going to put it.
The light thing in the bottom.
Okay.
Of the jewel.
Well, we'll help him out, he says very heroically.
Run up and do our secret handshake.
Cool. They do it back. Boom, boom, boom. And about 30 soldiers and maybe 5 casters of various schools and religions step out of the hammerhead as well. And the pilot on the sending stone of the hammerhead radios in and says, "Shh, hammerhead here. What do you guys need? What's the status?"
We've had a huge battle. We haven't taken a break in like a couple weeks, it feels like.
We're all alive.
Yeah.
We defeated a dragon lich.
And we freed the dragon incarnate.
Who's that? Is that Tyrannosaurus safe?
No, it turned back into
Oh, you
Zay
turned back?
already. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
The Tyrannosaurus
Or
Prince,
Ilka.
don't worry about them. That was Ilka.
Hey guys.
Okay.
And
was
we've
a good
got
time.
Amalia Castle-Lantern encased in water.
What?
Yep. She's the big baddie, sort of. But like, not quite, but
The
like the
pre-baddie.
lieutenant. Yeah.
The mini boss.
The mini boss.
We knew she had escaped, but didn't know this is where she was, says one of the soldiers.
Can we turn her over to you?
Sure.
But she's very dangerous. Maybe the casters can put her to sleep or something?
They do so.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
I thank my little elemental friend. for their
Excellent. And they go,
help.
Amazing.
I try to pat them on the head and then just like wipe my hand on my outfit.
also streaming out of the hammerhead come about 50 pigeons, led by a real gangly looking one, as well as 2 owls and a large red hawk. You recognize as blood hawk. It's like a big, long-tailed hawk.
Mm.
Is that just like 50 druids showed up?
No, but one of
Sally?
them goes, "Grrrah!" You recognize it. It's this like mangy-looking pigeon named Sally.
Yeah, I remember, but
Yeah,
wouldn't it be great if 50 druids just showed up?
that would be great.
If they were all, yeah.
So 50 pigeons, Sally, and then what was a red?
Red hawk?
A blood hawk.
Blood
Couple
hawk.
owls.
A couple owls and a blood hawk, yeah. So yeah, your assets as they stand are Cholet, the ancient brass dragon, is standing over everyone. She's actually polymorphed into an elderly human woman at this point. She looks like maybe like 80 years old. She's very wrinkled, but also very fit. Really good posture. Zelopharn is still in dragon form, kind of hanging out with Lark. You've got the Hammerhead. You've got the Griffin Riders, including Nat and Jenks. You've got 30 soldiers, 5 casters, and the Pigeon Mafia. And the Water Elemental, whose name you don't know.
Do we need to try to head down and see what happened to Squidly and the Ethereal Galleon?
Probably, yeah. Reasonable.
Cholet steps forward and says, we should also track down what happened to that soul pylon that got knocked down. I assume that the invaders' forces may have recovered it by now
Oh,
from
What-
down below.
you're afraid that they'll put it back together?
Yes. Or salvage it.
Is there some way we can damage the base of the soul pylon so they can't reattach it?
That I don't know, she says.
Or to break the cables piping the souls to the pylon or from the pylon or whatever way they're going?
Soleil says, I don't really know the magic behind the pylons or how it works. It seems like it takes divine intervention or perhaps an extreme force to stop them from working. What I do know, she says, is that the magic was introduced to the Radiant Citadel some weeks ago by a man named Crooks, who sold them as a way of bringing spirits out of the preserve of the ancestors, these crystals. He started working on something in secret, but then he mysteriously disappeared one day and didn't return. And shortly after, these invaders arrived and took over his work and finished these things on the ends of the Citadel.
Did he look like a folk hero?
He acted like one, yes.
It's Rowan Crooks. I love that guy.
Love.
That's
Uh,
concerning.
She says, also, I don't know why the Citadel is moving. It usually doesn't move of its own accord with intention like this. But I think it might have something to do with those soul pylons because the auroral diamond itself seems to be weakened by their effects. And you can see that it kind of like flickers a little bit more than it used to, like the whole diamond that holds up the Citadel.
So, Cholet, would you suggest maybe we go after the soul pylon instead of the Ethereal Galleon and try to make sure that it's destroyed?
Well, she says, based on what I've gathered, it sounds like the two of them might be in the same place anyways, if you sent the galleon down there.
Oh, so they took. Wait, there's a soul pylon
Oh,
on
you're
both
saying
ends,
you're
right?
saying the one that fell down.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the
yeah.
galleon. Well, that's a good question. I mean, we have to head down the city either way, so the pylon would probably be above the galleon
Gotcha.
vertically.
Might
Okay.
be on our way.
I always picture the sort of directional force of gravity here in the wrong way. So now I that makes sense.
Ah, good. She says, by the way, I can also use my connection to the auroral diamond as the elder speaker to channel its energy briefly. It's the auroral diamond was once, I believe, a god of healing that perished or sacrificed itself in battle with some enemy, and she indicates like the spiraling city wrapped around it. And she says, and it still retains much of its healing power, so I could use some of that to refresh everyone.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Love that.
Compressing about 8 hours of healing into about 1 hour.
Wow.
Should you choose, it would go from something long to something short.
That would be
Amazing.
fantastic.
Like Little Dinky.
That's the other thing.
It's the only two things in the universe. this period of time and Little Dinky.
Yeah. Would you like that? She
Yes,
says?
please.
No,
Except-
we're in a hurry. Let's not.
Well, I mean, the pylon's down there, so who knows what can happen. But,
Yes, please. I'm sorry.
all right.
I meant to say
and
yes, please.
She claps her hands together and channels Kamehameha style some sort of white glow that just feels amazing. Do you all do anything while you rest for an hour?
So would this also heal
It's the long rest.
any of the bad guys that
No,
are...
she's channeling
Oh.
it to everybody at the plateau here,
Okay.
which is just you guys.
Would we like a long rest? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay.
In an hour.
Yes, I very much would.
Okay.
Me and my spell slots accept.
I've successfully
give you guys a
scratched
sec.
things and written new things next to those things.
Oh, I feel so refreshed.
I feel cleaner somehow. I don't
Do you
know.
all just like pancake like while you rest, or like,
Probably.
Yeah.
I-
It's been a time.
I roll in the grass.
I'm going to cuddle up with Zelifarn.
He accepts. Reciprocates.
Are there any windows, any way to look outside?
You are outdoors.
Oh, we are outdoors.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm probably just looking at the scenery, probably watching the storm and just admiring the strength.
Okay. It's the storm is picking up inside the ward. It seems like the ward itself might be like fading, like it's not at full strength, and, it's like letting in more of this chaotic energy. And so you can see around you as you rest, the city's getting more and more torn up, like big chunks of building and street
Yeah, that's something I'd watch for an
are
hour.
floating up and starting to spin around like Outland style. The city's just kind of getting torn up by this energy. It's mostly together, but there are still large chunks that are floating around and like magical cascades in the air. It's actually kind of hard to see like down from the plateau to the rest of the city because it's so stormy.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's not enough to like knock you off your feet, but it's just dangerous out there.
Do we hear a keening?
It's getting louder.
Great.
Yeah. And Cholet reiterates that this storm was meant to keep the gods out. It's designed to let souls through, keep the gods out. So it would make sense that the auroral diamond passing through would be kind of a cause for alarm, magically.
Because it was a god. I get it.
Do we have any way of telling? Do we appear to be moving further into or away
It's
from
really hard
where,
to tell. Like,
okay,
you
that-
shot
yeah.
into it, and then it's hard to see outside.
But are we still in motion? Can we feel that?
I would say, yeah, there's enough streaking going on the ward that you can kind of see that you're going in a direction. And it's not like changing, so you're going in one direction. So Cholet kind of gathers everyone once you're rested for like a chat before you head out on whatever you decide to do. And she thanks you all, first of all, for coming to help the Radiant Citadel. She says, she knows you didn't have to do this, so it means a lot that you're here. The Radiant Citadel is a peaceful place, and none of this should be happening. So whatever we can do to stop it, we should. She says, I don't know if we can get more help at this point from gods or from mortals now that we're in the Keening Gloam, so I think this is it. Hope you're ready. She said. Good thing none of you are clerics.
Because we'd be cut off from our
Yep.
gods.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, also I'm attuned to nature, and we're on a big rock in space.
It's a magic rock. She says, when I was captive, I gleaned that Manchun, the leader of these mercenaries, these invaders, plans to park the Radiant Citadel at the Wall of the Faithless on the other side of the Keening Gloam. And he intends to siphon the near infinite power of this wall into his pylon and use it to become an unstoppable force, to rival the gods themselves.
We'd like him to not do that.
She nods. Everybody nods.
So one of the pylons has been destroyed. We could perhaps assist in breaking the other.
That seems wise, she said. That would put a big wrench in his plans.
I will bite it a lot.
Yeah. So how do we get down there?
Well, we've got the hammerhead. We could sail down.
Fly down? And 2 dragons, and 15 griffins.
Yeah.
And 50 pigeons.
I vote I take the pigeons.
However, the winds are fierce. It won't be safe.
Oh.
And I've heard this Manchun referred to as the necromancer as well, so I don't know what tricks he has up his sleeve with that kind of magic.
Oh, I guess we could go back down through the sewer again if we want to stay.
I mean,
hidden.
we could Goonies back down.
Yeah.
Worked last time.
But we also want to look for the pylon on the way down as well.
That's right.
We can further destroy it. Put it under someone's
Make sure that that Manchun doesn't get his hands on it to try to
restore it. Yeah.
We met some underground sewer folk. We could see if we could pick them up as reinforcements.
I think they're pretty adamant that they were not
They're
fighters.
not fighters. That was right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cholet nods and says, yes, I think the speaker's headed down to be safe with them down below.
All right.
Maybe we can sneakily fly, and then if we need to ditch quick, we can. Just for expediency's sake.
Meh.
There's only so much time.
We can all fit on Zellifarn, yeah?
No.
No.
All 50 of us?
Oh.
Maybe 2 of you and Zay could.
Yeah, let's load it. Let's load back up the griffins and the hammerhead and the dragons and the pigeons.
Hey,
A partridge
Nat.
in a pear tree?
Yeah.
All right,
can
pigeons,
you-
get hauling.
Could I fit on a griffin with Nat?
Yeah, a griffin can seat too.
Okay. Hey, Nat, can I ride with you?
Okay, but where'll Jenks... Oh, she doesn't respond. She nods and then indicates Jenks, questioning.
Oh,
Jenks
now
is
you
like, I
bumped,
guess I'll find a different one.
you bumped Jenks off.
Jinx was with her. I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. I can ride a griffin another day.
He says, I'm sorry, I'm just not very comfortable flying a griffin myself. Nat's got the skill there.
Maybe we can make the joke that Zay always misses out on riding a griffin now that we wrecked the joke
You
about
can,
the
roll
dragon.
you can roll animal handling and just like go for it, or hop on with a
No,
stranger.
you have to,
As
as the
somebody
DM, you
else's.
always have to prevent it from happening.
Yeah.
Cholet transforms back into an ancient brass dragon as well. For whatever that's worth, she's massive, bigger than the hammerhead.
Dang.
Yeah, that should be able to
That-
hold lots of people.
That's got to hold 50 people.
Well, let's load the pigeons up on the dragon.
4 of them.
They all perch on her horns.
I was going to say Sally rides right between your eyes.
Yeah. They seem to be in fierce conversation. mentally.
And do we have? Are the Doom Raiders on the? Oh no, who's piloting the hammerhead? The Doom Raiders are on the galleon, I guess,
Yeah, it's just Neverwinter troops that have been steering it. Some wizards.
with music.
No. They
don't need it?
They have a different spell jamming helm.
Got it. Okay. All right. So, who's on what? What? Are you taking a different griffin, or you're taking the dragon, or you're taking?
I'll take the dragon. I'll
So you're on the brass
with
dragon,
Zellifarn
or the
anyway.
ancient brass dragon. Oh, you're with Zellifarn.
Mhm.
Okay.
I could morph into a Quetzalcoatlus, and I can carry up to 900 pounds.
Do you burn a spell slot?
I do.
We have a lot of places to.
Great. No need to do that then.
There's so many options.
Lark steps in with the tactical genius.
That was Justin.
Oh.
Just so you know,
I
that's
heard
in
it
our
in the
back
timbre.
pocket.
Lark would have been all about that. He would have been so excited.
That I can carry our crew plus a couple if I want to be a giant pterodactyl. Bird god.
I'll jump on the ancient brass dragon, I guess.
Woohoo!
But I'm gonna ride it like Bastion from Neverending Story with my fist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, like right up by her
Every
head.
time.
Yeah.
She's got a long neck.
Oh
So-
well, I'll sit where it's safe.
Yeah, I mean, well, Falcor didn't really have a long neck. I guess he had a long body. But anyway,
I'd probably gravitate towards a ship,
the ship.
whichever one.
Yes.
But
So
if
we're splitting the party.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. If we're all going in 5 different things, then but yeah, if
We're all
that's-
flying
well,
together.
Right.
Yeah, I'm on the boat.
How do you communicate? Because you have 2 sending stones. So what's going to be your way of talking? Shouting? Might get loud.
I'm just going to do insight checks.
Trust your gut.
Yeah.
Has it ever steered us wrong?
That's true. Definitely true. So you have 1 sending stone on the hammerhead, and Zay, you have
I
the
have
other
one. Mm-hmm.
I think I'll go along on the hammerhead then, so we
Okay.
don't completely splinter the party.
Ship, Cholet, and Zelopharn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ship, dragon. That's manageable. And everybody boards their respective flying vessels.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
alights into the sky, and you're immediately caught by the wind, and just it takes a minute just to like steady everybody in the air. The pigeons especially, they have so little mass. Some of them just kind of go tumbling away, and you lose sight of them.
no.
This would be very cool fan art.
Damn. Okay. I'm going to need whoever's steering a ship. What are you doing on the ship, Scoot? Are you just sitting by? or are you trying to help out?
Whatever's needed. I mean, I've got a pretty good ship history, so
Yeah,
but I didn't run on and take charge.
right.
I thought this was a transport mission.
Well, so the ship is pretty banged up, and they explain to you and Ilka while you're on the ship that they had a long, extended bout with a blue dragon in the Tempest outside of the Moonhole, and that's why they were so delayed. But once the army arrived, they were able to kind of like combine their forces, and the Griffin cavalry arrived, and they were able to.
What
Fight it off.
familiarity do I have with this tech from my ship history, my actual water ship history? How much of it overlaps?
This one is actually very familiar because it's literally just a ramming ship. There's no other.
Then I'm
Nuance to
probably, if no one's doing it, I'm running around looking at systems, seeing if there what needs to be patched up. Is
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
hammering wood on the side of the hull, or are there other things that need to be
Yeah,
done?
it's all
things
torn
like
up.
that. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mostly metal on the outside.
I'm getting to work doing whatever repairs seem most necessary at the time.
Okay, well that's good because the ship starts to kind of like shake and rattle at the seams and the bolts, and it starts to kind of come loose with this magical energy and this tempest wind. Ilka, are you doing anything on the ship as well?
I don't know what I can do to combat a storm. I mean, I can play music and sea shanties and bolster everyone's attitudes.
Sure. The 5 casters, some of them are busy like powering the spelljamming helm, so you could help with that
Oh,
process to
absolutely.
like steer the ship.
Absolutely.
Okay. The dragons, for their parts, seem okay for the moment. Like they can kind of right themselves with their natural intuition, you know. So you guys are able to stay balanced. Maybe roll acrobatics or athletics just to see if you can hold on effectively. 'Cause you don't really have saddles or gear to hold on to a dragon. They're helping you, but it's challenging.
17.
17 also.
Okay, yeah. Your old hands at riding dragons now. Ilka, roll. Let's see. Let's do.
Am I performing my concertina? A very unhinged version of Gilligan's Island up here.
I think it's not performance if you're trying to help steer the ship at this point. Let's say maybe just dexterity. Just kind of like trying to like feel it out. And for Scoot, let's roll. What would engineering be? Shipwriting.
7 dexterity.
What am I doing? Am I patching things up with a hammer?
Yeah, like
that's
running
strength.
around, tying things down, buttoning things up, tightening nuts and bolts. Strength sounds good.
Or survival.
I think strength.
Strength. Okay,
Yeah.
just straight up strength.
Unless you have a toolkit.
13.
Okay. So you start to make your way downwards. Lark and Zay, you hold on to your dragons. The hammerhead starts to get buffeted around. And these rifts of magical energy actually, like one of them kind of explodes right next to the ship and sort of like sends it in a tailspin sort of towards the citadel, like dangerously close to the citadel and some of the huge floating chunks of city that are around there. So Ilka, make one more dexterity roll to try and help the pilots, unless you have some other way of helping them to keep it from careening right into a big rock.
14.
14. Okay, the hammerhead, like the tail end of it, as it's swerving away, slams into a chunk of floating house. And one of the fins just kind of gets shorn off. Like the back end of the ship is open to the air. The front end's the operating part, so that's not the worst, but your steering is impacted by that.
Yeah, if you're going to hit a house, hit it straight on.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Like
Sorry,
really
y'all.
take it out.
Honestly, the hammerhead, they probably should have done that. Yeah, just like gone right through. But like the diamond was behind the house, so like if they kept going that way, it would have ended badly. So. Okay, you continue downwards, and as you make your way, you're getting closer to where the pylon would have fallen down, like as the spiral winds down the city. But as you're getting close to it, you can see that the ground's all pockmarked here. You can see in the distance, there's a huge hole where it looks like the pylon might have just like fallen right through this floor of the city, like just big old crater. And it's all kind of torn up around there, with pieces of city floating up and sewer floating up.
Oh man,
Yeah, it's messy.
down one more floor.
However, everyone roll perception, please.
12.
12.
28.
Wow.
So more.
3.
So less.
5.
You guys. Zay.
I have a different angle. I'm on
Yeah,
Zelifar.
that's true. From your vantage point, Zay, as you circle around the citadel on your way down, you see on one of the floating islands there is actually a school full of people, like families, that is like spinning off towards the ward, and it's going to crash in a little bit unless it's grabbed or stopped somehow. So you are the only one aware of this as everybody's spinning around the city.
I zoom in. I indicate to Zelifar that we should zoom over toward Cholet, and I yell out, "Cholet, can you help change the trajectory of that floating island?" And I gesture in that direction.
Oh, and she nods, and two of you peel away. The four of you. Are you going to try to like just push the school back?
That's what I was thinking she might be able to do.
Okay. Are you guys just going to stay on the dragons while that happens, or what's your thought?
Yep.
Just
Lark,
hold on
do you
tight.
want to come over to Zelifar?
Should I? I feel like it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the dragons, they both brace the school and start to push, but you see people, like the balance is really unsteady, and some people are like hanging on to their windows and the railings for dear life as the thing is kind of shaking and falling apart. They might need somebody might fall off any second, you know.
I guess I'll.
And in fact, one does, and one person's falling. They're swirling in the wind.
Zelifar, go below that. I try to catch them.
Okay, he lets go, and the school starts to drift back towards the ward again. Cholet can't brace it on her own, and Zelifar starts diving down towards the falling person.
Call in the hammerheads, eh? We need to tap it back into place.
Take out
Supplies.
my soul stone. Hammerhead, come in. It's Hammerhead.
Hammerhead's like way ahead at this point. It'll be
It's out of range
pretty.
of the sending
no, it's not out of
stone.
range, but you can still say this. But like, it would take a little bit for the hammerhead to come back and.
Oh,
Like
We're
save
trying
these
to
people.
rescue an island.
I'll jump onto the school and try to acrobatics my way around and hold people
okay.
into place.
Roll acrobatics.
Okay. 26.
That's very effective.
Do we see anything on it that we could help attach it to something that seems more permanent?
Okay, so you catch the person who's spinning around because you can fly faster than they fall, because that's how cinematics works.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Movie physics.
and as you're making your way back, you can see that there are like chunks of plumbing, like big pieces of metal that can maybe like hook on something, you know, like back on the rest of the citadel. But it's all kind of falling apart slowly, so nothing's really for sure, you know.
Yeah.
But Lark, as you dance from like wall to, because it's kind of like at an angle now, as Cholet is kind of she's gotten behind it and she's starting to push it back, but it's not like a super level thing, and it's hard to keep it level because it's just this kind of spinning piece of debris. And you help people, you pull them up, you tie them down. What does that look like to you? Like, what are you imagining? Essentially that.
Yeah, essentially that. Yep,
Yeah.
jumping from as the walls are shifting from like it's the floor, now it's the wall, now it's the ceiling, just sort of like jumping back and forth, grabbing people as they're falling.
They thank you profusely and cheer, and you're able to push the building back towards the citadel and hook it to something.
That's the plan.
Yep.
To another piece of plumbing, the dragons, tie it down with a little bow.
Just Spider-Manning it.
Yeah, basically, but with pipes.
This, yeah, yep. We find something that looks solid.
Okay, and the four of you, the four of you in your respective vessels, and all your buddies continue to circle around the citadel until you find the impact crater where the soul pylon hit. Clearly, like hole above, landed here, big crater, didn't make it all the way through, and it looks like something's been dragged, like down the city, like off the edge of the city. Through like the wreckage of buildings, and it's gone now. Whatever was there has been taken.
Thank goodness it wasn't the soul pylon, which is still in the crater.
Yeah.
No, it ain't.
Ah!
Do we follow the path, or do we just
I mean,
try
yeah,
to
it's
make
going
our
the
way towards
same way we're
Squiggly?
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
So the soul
quickly as
pylon was just
possible.
pulled off the edge of the building, and it must have like dropped further or something.
It's down one more floor.
It's
Maybe.
not. It's super
No, it
gone.
for sure is.
Super duper gone. As you continue to go around, you notice that there's this like soul energy, this like green light gets like brighter and brighter, and you feel this sort of charge in there. There's the keening of the keening glow, and then this kind of crackling of magical soul energy. As you get towards the lower end of the city, you pass by the Preserve of the Ancestors and Vincent Trench's house and Sid Squid's Crawfish Emporium, and you find that the lower part of the city, where you sent the ethereal galleon, is looking a lot worse than it did when you first flew in. Like, these buildings are leveled. You see people like fleeing away from it, like towards the upper parts of the city. And you also see occasionally like what look almost like ghosts, like spirits kind of floating from house to house, and like screams inside the houses, and things are kind of bad down below.
What the?
There's like this sort of necromantic energy that's radiating from the bottom of the citadel and affecting people down
That's
on the
not
ground.
good.
Yeah. Oh.
Mm-mm.
How do you react
Nancy! And I shake
Okay.
my fist in the air.
to that? Yeah.
Have you all noticed that every single city that we go to, whether it's Waterdeep or Neverwinter or the floating fortress or this place, they all wind up in ruins? I'm starting to think it's us.
Is Waterdeep in ruins?
Zelephar
It was.
nods silently.
Well, let's get to that wall.
Yeah.
Don't take that too personally, Lark. That's a lot of internal pressure.
Yeah, so like the storm outside is eventually overcome by this storm of like black and green necromantic energy around the bottom of the Radiant Citadel. You see these ghostly figures. There's shrieking down below. Some of them start to float upwards from the ground towards you guys, but you're moving fast enough that you can outpace them if you just keep going.
We do.
Sure.
Everybody? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Look out for those creepy Dementor things, Cholet.
Yeah. You can see, Zay especially, you can see very clearly that each ghost has like a little crystal, like where its heart would be, like a little soul gem. And there's kind of like a spirit-like humanoid body formed around this floating crystal in each one of these ghosts that's moving around. For whatever that's worth. As you're almost to the bottom, like there's maybe one more spin around the city. The city down here is almost like a wasteland, and you can see down below there is like a small army parked down here. They've leveled the buildings or taken them over. There are these spirits moving around, and attacks start to be volleyed at you all as you fly over. So arrows, beams of magic, just different soldiers. You can see masks, Zentarim. What looks like an undead Periton takes off from somewhere down below and starts flying towards you all.
Come on.
There's a lot of stuff going on down there, and it's getting closer and closer by the moment. Do you do anything to prepare as these things get close enough to impact?
Do we see the ethereal galleon?
You don't yet.
Okay.
Do we have to fly into this? Like, can we
No, you can peel away.
change course?
Yeah. But the dragons are like, they're like gritting their teeth and like getting their like breath ready. They're going to start like tearing into these people. Like it's part of the plan as far as they care. Unless you tell them not to.
Surely, does it seem like we could take this giant army on? We only have like 50 people.
She says, as long as we can stay in the air, I think we have the advantage.
Even with like the undead periton and the magic beams and the arrows and everything?
She says, never tell me the odds.
In this moment, we have surprise.
No.
Well, if we peel off and come back later, they've now gotten an eyeful of what we have at our arsenal.
I see.
Can you remind me how the other soul pylon was shattered? Did you do it with Lil Dinky?
I tried to.
I did. Yeah, tried to gum up the works with Little Dinky.
Got a couple poor rolls, but then the raven blessing came down and just a bunch of ravens knocked it down.
Okay.
With the Raven Queen's power.
So God did it. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Scoot put the actual Deus in Deus Ex Machina
Yeah.
in that battle.
That was the machine.
I just rubbed the feather.
Deus Contra Machina?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That was it. I just went, oh, maybe the dragon will go away.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. That was nice. Okay, well, Cholet is spooling up some fire and Xelopharn's spooling up a whole lot of lightning. You have to be careful where you hold on to them. On the hammerhead, do you guys prepare for any kind of battle, or is it like ramming speed towards something, or do you're just moving closer to the pylon?
You could ram the pylon.
I'm not driving.
What's the hammerhead's?
People are looking to you guys for advice.
What's the hammerhead's magic ability?
It rams things.
Rams. Do it.
Yeah,
Yep.
hit something.
Okay, they don't slow. That means we have to just keep picking up speed. They said so. They just are the tail end's really swerving around as they skid around midair. Because
I'll go
that's
start
how
shoveling
friction
coal.
works.
Just get it going.
Oh yeah.
Build up some steam.
Yeah.
Cholet, can we help to steer the hammerhead directly into the pylon?
Wait, are you asking Cholet?
Yeah.
She's like, oh.
Okay. Never mind. Like when the dentist talks to you. Never mind. Ignore that question. Do what you're gonna do.
And the two dragons just unload their breath weapons on the undead periton and some of the spirits, and things just are obliterated below you. Some of the things, not all the things, just a few of the things, actually.
Most of the things.
Not
probably.
nearly enough as you keep getting closer and
Don't.
closer. Until finally in the distance, you see the soul pylon as you scorch past these things, especially the hammerhead folks, since you're going fastest at this point. You can see that the different pieces of the one from up above, because it kind of shattered when it fell down, they're being assembled onto the bottom one, and it's kind of forming this big crystal soul mountain, like a pointy lighthouse mountain at the bottom of the Radiant Citadel. And there's all kinds of arcane magic going on down there. You don't see Manchun. You do see the wreckage of the ethereal galleon near the soul pylon, it hit the ground down there towards the bottom of the spiral. And before you all can act further, you hear a popping sound in your ears. And the Radiant Citadel escapes the keening gloam. And before you, from roiling darkness, all of a sudden you just see this endless glowing white, almost like a TV screen and static. As you see Kelemvor's Wall of the Faithless appear. Before you, it is infinite in all directions, with the keening gloam behind you, infinite in all directions, as far as you can tell. The surface of the Wall of the Faithless looks sort of like marble. If you imagine the black veins of the marble moving all the time, constantly, it's got this endlessly moving churning effect too. And it's not clear if it's flat or if there's mountains and ridges and valleys on it. It kind of seems like it ripples almost like the surface of water when rain is pelting in really hard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's directly ahead of you, so it's up and down as the ward kind of flickers in and out of existence. And as this popping sound gets louder and louder and louder, and the four of you are suddenly jerked from where you're standing and sitting, and you are pulled through reality by a teleport spell to the surface of the Wall of the Faithless. Just the four of you. Pum, 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 pum. And you land on this dusty white, almost like chalk, or like the surface of Crate in Star Wars Episode 8. it's just quiet, and like from this direction now, you see the Keening Gloam above you, like the sky box is all the Keening Gloam with the Radiant Citadel hovering just beyond it, with this like bright green light at the bottom.
Just for a few seconds longer until the hammerhead smashes into it.
Well, you don't see any sign of that yet, but directly ahead of you, you see this sort of it's almost like Pompeii. It's like this city of ash, just not ash, but similarly like white, and there are statue-like bodies in various poses, kind of scattered all around, as well as buildings, and everything looks very like sanded down, worn down by time. The faces have no features. The buildings are very smoothed. And in the distance, directly ahead of you, maybe like half a mile, is a huge crystal spire. It reaches maybe like a mile in the sky, just this long, translucent, needle-like spire that kind of points right towards where the Radiant Citadel is above it, with the green point pointing downwards towards it, these two arrows pointing towards each other in the distance.
Potentially would allow him to drain from the wall.
Kind of seems that way. Yeah. Like this point almost seems like if you imagine like a ferrofluid would, kind of when you have a magnet over it, like the point kind of has risen up. But directly ahead of that point is a huge throne, and sitting on that throne, even half a mile away, you can see this colossal, maybe 100-foot tall skeleton sitting on a throne, with one hand raised up, holding a giant pair of silver scales. Like, dragon-sized set of scales. Just motionless in the distance. And directly ahead of you, you see a small figure wearing a yellow robe that kind of flickers and flutters and shifts into thousands of little butterflies and then back into a robe again. And you hear the voice of Arcturia,
Sister.
Zay's sister, saying, "You finally made it. Welcome, friends." Around you, you see the ruins, not just from the wall being shaved down, but from Arcturia's work. It seems like she's done some kind of experimentation. There are large craters. There are some tables and weird amalgams of statues put together. It seems like she's been working on stuff here, but it's not clear what exactly. And she seems very happy to see you all with her strange, shifting face. She says, "Finally, we can do this together." How do you all react?
I don't trust
I look
her.
at Zay.
Arcturia, what are you trying to do here? Are you still trying to break the wall?
Oh, yes. You all get your footing.
Who gave us this mission?
The nausea of being ripped from where you were lifts. She says, "The boss, of course. Halaster."
Alaster?
Yes.
To what end?
She says, "Well, the wall binds more than just the faithless. It contains knowledge. It contains power. It contains histories and futures. We should let them all be free. Imagine what we could unlock," she says.
I'm feeling very excited about this. I'm imagining all the things
She's
we could
nodding with
unlock.
you as you nod. Yeah. Right? She looks at everyone else too.
Ilka privately remembers things going not super great last time we met Arcturia, so she's not really trusting what Arcturia has to say.
Grinning wolfishly.
Yeah. I've met zealots.
Say, what does it say on your sheet of info about your siblings, about Arcturia?
It says that she has a shifting cloak of butterflies.
Oh, I see that.
And that she can do transmutation. She's from the school of transmutation. And that she's perpetually exasperated. Could be from hanging out with me. I don't know.
As she notes all of your silence, her butterfly form kind of like the butterflies melt into maggots, and she like turns into a pile of maggots on the ground for a second before it reforms into this body again. And her body is made of maggots for a moment before it becomes more normal looking humanoid body again, just kind of gray.
Arcturia.
Gross.
What?
She just kind of wipes one away from her hair.
Is this familiar to me?
No.
mean, it's sort.
No,
okay.
it's not.
Does Arcturia act like she knows that just happened?
Yeah, she seems
Okay, great.
unshook.
Is this something we'd be familiar with, like a transmutation spell gone wrong?
Roll Arcana.
Okay. Anybody else strong in Arcana?
No.
19.
Yes, it does seem like transmutation magic. Gone wrong or gone the way it's supposed to? Unclear, but it's definitely transmutation.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been working this spell on yourself?
Since we parted? Oh, the spell?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember now. But it gives me some flexibility, and she poofs into butterflies again, swirls over and points and like appears again like 100 feet away and points at the big statue of the skeleton, the big skeletal person on the throne far away, and says, Kellamore barely has a grasp on this place anymore, see? He's an absentee god. He hasn't been around the whole time I've been here.
So he's not there? That's just his skeleton?
That's his body, but he's busy somewhere else, clearly.
Doing what?
Well, she says, my understanding is that he manages the fugue plane, which is this sort of purgatory where everyone goes after they die, and he kind of directs the souls where they're supposed to be. So he's probably busy with that gig. You know, with just a little push, we could turn this place into a conduit for freedom instead of just idle imprisonment.
Hey, did you notice the arrival of the Radiant Citadel?
I did.
I think they're here to siphon from the wall. What do you think of that?
Makes sense. A lot of souls in there.
Maybe we should break the spire quick we should slay the spire before they get here.
Well, if we broke the wall, we could use that power. The spire would probably be taken with it. I mean, that's a lot of energy in there.
I mean, that's true, but it seems like this wall is really big and that spire is pretty small.
That's
relative.
a long, exasperated sigh. She's like, are you guys going to help me or not?
What's your plan to break the wall?
That seems a lot for 5 beings.
She says, yeah, well, I don't know exactly. Otherwise, I would have done it already. But since you're here, we can maybe use that spire. You think that could break the wall?
Maybe. What are you thinking?
Well, if we took it from the wizard up there that you were talking about and channeled its magic, maybe we could just drain the souls out and break it that way.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I see. Well, you mean the Radiant Citadel?
Yeah. Right, the Citadel.
Oh, no, that seems like a bad idea.
Well,
we want to stop the souls from being drained.
We could call Kellamore over here and have a chat.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Maybe he'll see reason. Manchun getting all the souls he could ever want is a bad thing. Maybe Kellamore will agree with that.
He'll intercede on our behalf. We did mention that the other pylon was only destroyed by a god.
Yeah.
But I
It
don't
was
know.
moved with the help of a god.
Halaster asked me not to get Kellamore involved, though. So we'd be going against Halaster's orders.
Can Halaster show up and intervene?
Oh, no, he's far away from here. No chance he'd get here now.
Bunch of absentee landlords.
Man, what Halaster don't know won't hurt him then.
What are you saying?
If we get Kellamore involved enough to break the last soul pylon, then Manchun can't succeed, and we have all the time in the world to break this wall. But as is, Manchun is here on a mission to get these souls out.
She starts casting a spell. Just like a big sort of shimmering circle appears around all of you, maybe like 50-foot radius. Do any of you react?
What's going on?
Oh, just some magic. And she casts a reverse gravity spell. You all are lifted up off your feet and you float about 100 feet up in the air. Unless you do something to stop it.
No.
like such as.
I don't know,
Like
like a
dispel
counter spell
magic.
or like we're trying to get out of the...
Does
trying to get
anyone
out
have counterspell yet?
No.
Okay.
Okay. And you're all floating. And she says, all right, so here's the deal, you guys. I think you're going to just do what I tell you to do. Because Halaster's in charge, and I'm not going to act behind his back. And that's that. He always gets his way. He doesn't want Kellamore involved, so we're not going to get Kellamore involved. And I don't like you guys trying to get me to act behind my boss's back.
Sure, but you don't have a plan. None of us have enough power to actually accomplish this.
You don't? Boss isn't going to be happy with that.
Did he tell you we did?
No, but I just figured if you're able to make it through the Keening Gloam, like maybe you brought that, so...
Yeah, we didn't really bring it. We were just on it.
There were gods involved in that process.
Why are you always so exasperated?
Do you ask her that?
Yeah.
She twitches a little and seems really set off by that. And she drops their reverse gravity spell. You all start to plummet. Do you have any
I
ways
put
of
on
couching your
Featherfall
fall? Okay,
on
on the
all
four
of
of you.
us.
Thank you,
Okay.
Ilka.
And she raises her eyebrows and says, "Nice."
I ask her if she's done with the theatrics.
She says, "Why am I always exasperated?"
Yeah. And we're trying to figure out how to break the spire, and then you like demand that we do what you say and float us in the air.
And she
All the
she
sighing.
begins to like quake at the seams again and start to like fall into maggots falling down again. She says, "You don't know what kind of pressure I'm under, man," as the voice like spreads out
Kind of see it.
among all these maggots.
I believe you're under pressure. The signs are clear.
Can you remind me again what I'm supposed to do with my siblings according to the pact?
Your contract was to free their souls.
Free their souls.
Yep.
I'm gonna start heading towards the spire. How far away is it?
About a half mile.
Okay.
Do you say or do anything to say?
I'm concerned. I'm concerned about her, and I say, Arcturia, I think Halaster isn't doing what's best for us.
The bugs reform. It's a mix of maggots and butterflies. And yeah. And she says, "Is that why you left?"
Probably.
Oh, so you really got free, huh?
I did.
Is that what it took? Forgetting everything?
It must have.
Can you teach me how to do it?
I kick her through a portal.
What?
No, I'm
Oh.
just kidding. I don't know. I can't make a portal.
She says through
But
gritted
you
teeth.
can. I would like to teach you.
Because I can't on my own.
Yes, come with us.
You just hold out a hand, or what's your MO here?
I mean, that's a beast of a... I don't even know if it's a curse if we can lift. 'Cause she's under some kind of god control. I don't know how to break that.
I don't even know if it's a god. I don't know.
Roll histories, eh?
Oh, I thought that was a 7. 5.
A 5. Well, you don't remember much
I
right
don't really
now.
remember. Yeah.
But you've heard it enough times to know that Halaster is the mad wizard
Yeah.
of the Undermountain. He's not a god per se.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember he was in my dream?
Yeah, you all saw him.
He just really wants to control things, including us.
So you say, "Come with us."
Come with us.
Roll persuasion, please.
I'll give a big thumbs
Ilka,
up.
will
I'll
you
give a big
play
thumbs
along?
up behind her so that
Mhm.
she can roll with advantage. Huh?
This is going to be a challenging roll.
It was a 1,
But I did
but
this.
I am lucky.
Yeah, and I am
You're a halfling, yeah.
bolstering her musically.
It's
Do you
an
need
8
I did a different die.
plus 10, apparently. And then I get to roll something else.
I can bardic inspire you.
Well, if Lark is propping you up and trying to like sell the deal,
Right?
then that would be the help action. What are you doing? Just the thumbs up?
Yeah, and like nodding
finger
encouragingly,
guns, just
like,
face of
He's so
empathy.
gesturing
charming.
over.
he's the
Yeah.
reason
I'm
I joined the group.
excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're playing music, bardic inspiration.
Yep, so she gets an additional D8.
What's the song? For "Come With Us."
Styx, come sail away.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the one.
Styx.
Styx.
Scoot, what are you doing?
On a concertina.
I'm
What's
watching.
done? You just take a step back.
I'm
Wait till you meet Scoot's mom.
I've-
She makes amazing pie.
This was, for a persuasion check.
Yeah.
I'm thrown off by the butterflies and maggots and all this stuff. It's and on a new planet. This is an awful lot happening.
It's kind of
all at once.
repulsive, yeah.
So I'm just like,
Playing it safe.
it's about that sketchy smile. Like I'm so uncertain,
All right. Well, you roll with advantage after your luck.
Okay.
And
which I
add
think is
bardic
probably good
inspiration.
for a +4.
The uncertainty.
Yeah.
Like Scoot's shoulder angel of caution versus Lark's.
Can I try counter charm on her and on Arcturia and see if it does anything?
Isn't that in response to like a mind control spell as it's being cast?
No, this is one of my racials. Counter charm as an action until the end of my next term. Any friendly creatures within 30 feet that can hear me gain advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. But I don't think
Yeah.
it's a dispel.
Yeah,
I
I,
don't-
still
it's
only
not this
got
case.
14,
14 with the
even
bonus?
after all that. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Mhm.
She kind of collapses on the ground and seems to be holding her head, trying to like get a voice out of her head, like she's talking to herself and raving at this point.
Does this seem familiar to me at all?
A little, yeah. It's this sort of deja vu. Yeah.
Oh
That-
man, what did I do? What did I do? To
When
you?
she started grabbing at her head, and if I understand that she's trying to get a voice out, that would be something I think Scoot would probably understand.
Yeah.
I'd go over there and just like a 1 hit point unarmed attack to the side of the head real quick. Just a, not a slap to the face, but like on the noggin.
All right, make an attack roll, Scoot.
Scoot.
See, that I know how to do. 11 plus 9. Well, 8. I'm not raging. So 19.
That's a hit.
Oh, okay. 1.
So 1 damage.
I just wanted to. Hey. You-
Snap out of it.
Hey, mega butterfly. What are you doing?
She fails her concentration roll.
You good? You good now? Feeling better?
She blinks and speaks almost mechanically, like I must obey the master, and she holds both hands out. And
I put my hands on her hands like, oh, we're connecting.
she casts disintegrate on you, Scoot. Like on
Can
your
I-
hand.
I cast it on her at the same time.
Yep.
Make a dexterity saving throw, please.
No.
Do I have advantage on this with danger sense? It's a reflex.
Yeah, I think it's for dexterity saving throws. So yeah.
Let's do higher than that one. And I can't remember if lucky makes me take this next roll if I do it.
The new lucky or the old lucky?
I'm using five even. I'm not doing that one. Let's see. We'll just go with the 11 then.
Okay.
And that was, what was that roll originally?
Dex.
Dex save. 12.
12.
Disintegrate me.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to avoid, being disintegrated.
Well,
but-
you got a lot of HP. So, disintegrate does 10d6 plus a lot force damage. Oop.
It's been a long week. I'm tired. Whatever. Kill me.
No. Oh wait, didn't you get disintegrated?
I did.
Oh no.
80?
Okay.
Where are you at?
I'm alive.
Okay. This is what you just shrug? Shake your hands off?
It's the story, man. It's just how it goes.
Arcturian, no! I cast Balm of the Summer Court
Oh, good.
for 16 and a bonus point.
And I go, ouch.
Do you keep holding on or do you?
No, I probably move away from that effect. I
Okay,
think that's
yeah.
something I wouldn't like.
Yeah. You are numb, Scoot, through your whole body.
Doesn't feel numb.
Yeah, it's the worst kind of numb.
Yeah.
Uncomfortably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you can make it your case again. She seems to be like fighting internally right now. She doesn't like keep going after you. So if you'd like to do anything, restrain her, talk to her, fight her.
Can we put her inside of a turtle shell?
I have to be in it.
Aw.
And she will kill me dead if that's what she's casting.
Right?
Well, I took the first hit.
That's true. Maybe that was her big bad.
If we're hanging
Yeah.
out, I would like to fire back. I'm ready to attack. If nothing's happening.
Okay, anybody else?
Come with us. We can help free you. We can help free you if you come with us. We'll figure it out together. I reach my hand out.
Do you like grab her? Like, do you go up to her?
No, it's an offering.
Okay. Roll persuasion again.
Okay.
Used
many
that same
times-
die, didn't you?
I did. It was a 1 again. But am I lucky as many? Yeah.
You rolled a 1 again?
I rolled a 1 again. I'm going to roll a different die. 16.
Okay. She lowers her hands and takes a step towards you, but then kind of like starts to lock up again as if she's being possessed. She's not quite there yet. Lark and Ilka, do you guys intervene or do anything in the interim?
I think Lark was a little thrown by the disintegrate.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you.
But I'm just trying to think, like, what
I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
What help would he actually be offering here legitimately in this moment? Are you feeling persuasive, Ilka?
Could I interest you in a t-shirt?
I can persuade her. I can also turn her into something that can't keep casting at us, but that will hear our reasoning.
I'm about to turn her into something that can't keep casting at us too.
It seems like Zay has almost convinced her, but has been rolling terribly.
We have to save her soul.
Oh, you can try to find it.
Or my soul gets taken? I can't. I should find the scroll.
Yes, essentially.
Great. I turn her into a 12-line chipmunk.
Cute.
Okay, and then
I
you attack,
polymorph her.
Scoot, or do you want to attack before the polymorph?
Well, this is happening now, so
Well, you said it first, so if you want to attack before or after, it's your
I
call.
would attack before. That
Okay,
was like after I take 80 points of damage, I probably have a feeling.
You'd have the first swing before all this. So,
Yes,
yeah.
that's what I would like to do.
Yep.
So I would then rage, axe, flipped it so it's side. I'm side bashing it. I'm not using the bladed edge.
Pancake mode?
I'm trying to do blunt damage rather than slashing damage.
Excellent.
Thank you.
But I'm also going right for her face. If I got access to it.
Yes.
Clonk.
And is she prone? She on the ground now?
She is, but it's unclear because she's kind of buggy. So like, she took a step forward, so she's kind of on one knee, stepping forward. I wouldn't say prone.
Amorphous.
Okay, 7 plus 9, 16.
Not quite enough.
And even less. So neither of them worked.
Okay, you hit her with the axe. It pancakes her, but her skin just kind of flattens and then like pops back out, like it reshapes itself.
All right, and then
dissipates the impact.
Now I'm. No, I guess I'll probably just stay there.
Okay, and then poof, chipmunk.
Yeah.
And
I scoop her up and hold her in my hands.
Okay, and the chipmunk begins to like erupt into butterflies as she like streams back out of chipmunk mode.
I try to
of her own volition.
Capture her in one of my pouches, as much of her as I can in one of my pouches.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you do that? Just like jumping around at butterflies?
Well, I was trying to do it like while it was still in her, as much as I could is still in her hands.
So if I've scooped up a chipmunk, hopefully the majority of the mass is here before it turns into butterflies. And we can get that in a pouch.
Essentially, this is a person who's really hard to grab because she can like turn into bugs at will. So even if she's a chipmunk, like that is her game that you're playing. And so she starts to change right back again, you know? It's really hard to like run over to her, scoop her up, and then bag her. But you can start grabbing at butterflies for sure.
Is there anything in my hands when I go to scoop the chipmunk?
Yeah, there's like a handful of butterflies.
Great. That goes in the bag.
Okay. So many of them get away. Some go in what bag? Just a bag?
Yeah, just one of my pouches.
Okay. She misty steps out of it and recoalesces near Scoot again. And just says, I don't understand if you're trying to help me. Why are you trying to kill me?
We don't want to kill you. We just want to restrain you until we can help you.
Okay.
You're trying to kill us.
She's like, I know. I can't. Maybe it's the only way. And she takes another step forward. And casts.
We believe in you. We believe in you. Try to come with us. You have to fight harder.
You roll persuasion, Lark. If you're trying to win her over too.
I'm trying to win her over too.
Yeah. With words over actions, you're just telling her the reasons why.
15.
Okay. She definitely listens to you. You can tell she like cocks her ear and takes a minute. But then like, you know, almost like puppet, like her arm raises up and a spell fires out of it. At Ilka because she just polymorphed her. She fires Melf's acid arrow. Melf's. Please make a... Oh, it's a ranged attack roll.
I have a feeling I used to be much more powerful.
She gets an 11, so it just goes wide.
I kind of feel the same way about myself.
Arcturia, what do you believe in?
Oh.
I'm trying to discern if she would join the wall if she was
She says, I believe in you, Zay,
Oh. So in other words, she would join the wall.
through clenched teeth.
You really need to come with us for justice.
Well, with that, Cell. For this next round, do you want to attack again, Scoot?
Yeah, nothing's changed for me.
Yeah. You can make an attack. Ilka, do you want to cast a spell or do something else?
I don't think I have anything that's going to break this. I mean, I can damage her.
Or your persuasive charm.
I am very persuasive. Arcturia, you believe in Zay. Think as early as you can to some memory of you and Zay. And go back to before Halaster and hold on to that.
That's pretty good.
That's what I got.
Scoot, make your attack rolls, and Ilka roll persuasion, and we'll do them in that order.
21.
Hits.
And I'm going to lucky that one because it was literally a 1. And more than the first one.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is still doing flat edge.
'Kay.
Still doing non-lethal damage is the hope, but...
Well, you're technically fighting a swarm, so bludgeoning is the right choice.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm just... So,
Mhm.
well, that was 2. I got 1 and 1 on those. And add on... It would be +8. You
Good.
decide if that's all accurate still. And then, well, I got 6s for the fire damage, so 12 fire damage.
Very good.
That was
So
attack.
22 damage.
Yeah, we'll say yeah. And then I got 6s for that roll, so 12 more bludgeoning and 4 fire. 16 more.
Okay.
And now I feel better.
The momentum just like knocks her off of her step, almost like onto her back, but like the bug form kind of starts to like straighten her up again. As you make your case, she seems out of it.
And that's a 13 for persuasion.
Okay.
We're so middling at this
know.
today.
Well, she has disadvantage on her roll now, but she still resists it.
That was a good one, too.
We'll go to the next one, though. So since we're on initiative, I'm just kind of letting you guys like decide how you want to act. The 3 of you are now trying to talk her
Persuade
down
her,
while
yeah.
Scoot just lowers her mental acumen.
Yep.
I'm going to cast Balm of the Summer Court on Scoot again.
Yeah, I mean, it did seem like when you hit her, Scoot, like her, whatever sort of puppeteering was going on was shaken for a moment, like you broke that for a moment,
Okay.
but just the persuasion wasn't enough to like
Yeah.
pull her out of it. So there was a window there.
9 plus another temporary hit point.
So she kind of swirls back 30 feet and begins to cast telekinesis. She picks up one of the statues nearby with her mind and throws it at Scoot.
That's fair.
Range attack roll. It's a 20. More than that. 24.
With a statue?
Yeah.
Any chance for a deck save on something like that if it's a statue? Or is it just that fast?
It's just a ranged attack. She's just chucking it at you.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. Which isn't too damaging. It is...
It's going to be a number with 3 digits.
Nope, it's going to be 12 damage.
Okay.
As the statue shatters in a puff of white dust.
Did it seem like a normal statue when it hit me? Or was it like...
It seemed like really densely compact ash, kind of, or
Okay.
like chalk.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it wasn't as heavy as I was expecting.
It wasn't like marble.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Yep, no, it's lighter, surprisingly.
So she's been creating these statues, is our impression.
Unclear, there are a lot of them.
Okay.
They seem pretty old, like they've been here longer than she
Oh,
has. Like
okay.
she's been experimenting with them, but not creating them.
Okay.
So, the 3 of you, or maybe Scoot, do you want to attack first? And then everyone can make their case? Up to you.
Would you allow me to pause? Like, I'll take the dodge action or defend. However, I just want to make it more difficult to hit me
Yeah.
for this round, but I want to give everyone else a chance to try to do it the talking way.
Okay. Everybody else. In sync now.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Zay, do you remember anything from your early days with Arcturia?
I have no memories.
Roll history, Zay.
Okay.
You care about Zay. We care about Zay. Zay cares about you, so we care about you. You should join us.
So I'm like, I could make an
12.
An image?
Yeah, you could. Sight and
But
sound.
I would be
and smell.
fabricating So if you remember anything that I can turn into an image of, like, you two playing together as little children.
Zay, you've had dreams in the past of you playing with a woman that resembled Arcturia. Like back in season 1, I think it's been a while. But you do have faint memories of a good time in a peaceful place with this person.
I play
just
that
very spotty.
episode for Ilka.
I cast that as a major image as much as I can from what Zay's describing. Of
Great.
These two playing together as little sisters.
What about you, Lark?
We just need.
I sort of made my case about caring for Zay and
Yeah.
Zay caring for her. Yeah.
Okay. Are you just kind of letting this play out, or are you stepping into it, Zay?
Yeah, I just say all we need from you is time. We just need you to give us time, and I think we can figure this out together.
Okay, roll persuasion, the three of you.
If we're not rolling with advantage, I'm going to burn a luck point and roll with advantage.
Okay.
27 persuasion.
Nice. 6.
25.
Wow. So she pauses at this. She's getting ready another spell, but then the scene plays out in front of her, and she just stops, and you see kind of the light bulb turn on in her head. You know, the memories reawakening things, and she just like reaches a hand like onto her own head and just kind of pulls as if there's like some sort of veil or mask that she's pulling off. She kind of tries to shake it off with her hands.
I run forward and try to help.
Yeah, you don't see anything there, but it seems like there's like a ripple in the air, and then she steps forward, and as you run forward, she just kind of gives you a big hug. And she's like solid again for a moment. She's not like a bug person.
And now I attack.
Oh no!
Do you? Okay.
It's too good comedic timing to not let it go. Oh. 2 for 1.
Yeah. Well, you have to like angle it. But anyway. Yeah, so she's like towering over you, but she gives you a big hug and says, I remember. I want to tell you about these memories. I want you to remember too. We had a lot of wonderful times together. And I think we can again, but if we go back to Waterdeep, you know, to home, I'm worried about what he might do or say, and about what kind of effect he might have on me.
Or me? Does he know that I'm back?
Yeah, he knows.
Oh.
And she says, you know, I don't know if we actually need to break this wall, guys.
Oh, good.
I think, you know, it would release a lot of powerful magic into the world,
Mm-hmm.
but it could be pretty dangerous too.
But we still have to stop Manchun from
Manchun.
siphoning it off.
Right.
That's
she
going to be
says.
real bad.
I still have the Rowan Crook's part of the shard. If we can, part of his soul. If we can use that in some way.
She says, yeah, you know, he probably knows that and is going to be gunning for you specifically, Zay.
Oh, good.
So
Because I'm so strong and hardy.
I'd watch out. Here's what I know, you guys. If you want to stop him, I have a few different ways we could go about it. We could either, you know, mount an assault on that pylon. We could actually run up this crystal spire and probably make our way right up to it, or teleport in. We could perform an ancient ritual. I know an arcane ritual that could summon Kelemvor here, and we could ask for his help and have him stop this whole mess. But it takes some time, and it'll probably draw attention from the folks up there. Or we could try to petition the souls of the wall itself to rise up and try and help us, but I don't know how much they're listening.
Do you know how we were summoned to the wall? Did you summon us to the wall
I did,
just now?
she said.
Okay, that's good news.
Yes.
How did you know we were close?
I know these things,
Okay.
she says.
So there's a possibility that they don't know we're at the wall yet.
Right.
Yeah.
And as you look up, you can see there's like explosions and like dragon breath. Like in the distance, there's lights, there's battle happening up there by the soul pylon.
I think we smash the spire to start.
Just go right in.
Assault
Let's
on the
try
spire?
that. The spire or the pylon?
Same thing.
Oh, Well, one is on the bottom of the citadel and one is on
That's
the
a good distinction.
wall.
Yeah.
So she meant to destroy the spire, to slay the spire,
Yeah.
not the pylon.
So that Manchun can't siphon.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he still could.
Even if
That
we
spire,
destroyed
she
it?
said, that spire is Kelemvor's crystal spire. It's a symbol of his reign over the wall. It's translucent to reflect his transparency in all things.
Oh, that
It's a
would
bit
maybe be
pretentious
breaking
if you
the
ask
wall.
me. But yeah, breaking it might damage the wall, might piss off Kelemvor.
Oh, so we actually have to get back to the crystal and slay that spire.
Yes,
I
the
see.
pylon
I was thinking
is
of it
what
as a
is
Gotcha.
the
siphon.
problem here. Yeah.
Okay.
What does it look like to get the souls out and helping us? Because the idea of an army of souls, how do we persuade them?
Well, it would be another ritual to try to commune with them. It might draw attention.
Yeah.
It might be challenging. It might not work at all. It might even get Kelemvor's attention. But we could give it a shot.
I don't think Kelemvor's attention is a bad thing at this point.
No, that's another one of the options, right? It's
Right.
Spire, Kelemvor, souls.
We could either ask him to come here or we could kind of force his hand.
That's a 2-for-1 if we go that way. Because you
Yeah,
get
but
potentially the army of souls and Kelemvor.
Yeah, but he might be pissed when he shows up. rather
He's
than
going to want
us.
to protect the wall, though.
That's true. That is his chief priority.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. No backsies?
No backsies. Let's
And
do it.
She leads you all to the foot of that giant skeletal body and begins the ritual.
Twin Portals is produced and edited by Scott Hebert. The adventure is created by our Dungeon Master, Matthias Valero, and the rest of the Silver Waves of Justice are played by Kenda Carlson, Beth Brophy, and Justin Peck. Our next live show is coming up soon. It'll be on Saturday, March 15th at the TH Zaccone in downtown Duluth. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. The recap starts at 7. It is once again completely free, so come on down, grab a seat, grab a drink. 222 East Superior Street. We hope to see you there. Scott Hebert is a fiscal year 2024 recipient of a Creative Individuals grant from the Minnesota State Arts Board. This activity is made possible by the voters of Minnesota through a grant from the Minnesota State Arts Board, thanks to a legislative appropriation from the Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Thank you to Leland Campana for use of his song Avernum as our theme song. Thank you to the TH Zaccone, Mary Fox, and Jody Chiava for all their support. And once again, thank you all so much for listening to Twin Portals.